Alrighty then, here we are. Welcome back to the TyRanT Wars number 2, Game 8, between the Legends and the Warlords. Score currently 4-3 to the Warlords, with 4 games consecutively, or 4 points even, consecutively won. After a blazing start from the Legends, the Warlords really bringing it back. And now we get ourselves a homeland game. And this game, I've got a feeling this is going to be a long one, for various reasons, which I will explain in just a moment's time. So I'll introduce the players. Over to the southwest of the map here in the grey, we've got Jordan 23 playing as the Mongols. Up to the north of the map in the blue, we've got Cab playing as the Celts. Up to the north of the map in the teal, we've got Doubt playing as the Spanish. And up to the, well, very far north of the map in the yellow, we've got the Viper playing as the Aztecs. So it's Aztecs, Spanish, I forget what they are already, Celts and Mongols. Jordan 23 on the Mongols as usual. Over to the other side of the map for the Warlords, we've got in red Fire playing as the Mongols. In the pocket position over to the east of the map in the orange, we've got Bagiofra playing as the Mayans. Over to the far east of the map in the purple, we've got Riot playing as the Huns. And finally, in the green, we've got Slam playing as the Spanish. Now, this map is Homeland, and the reason I say it's probably going to be a long one is because, well, okay, Viper's stealing a ball already. I just thought I'd note that. That's not why it's going to be a long game, but Viper is stealing a ball. The reason it's going to be a long game is because of this. It's a little bit like Michi, or Mishi, or however you say it. Big amount of tree in the center. And it's very easy to wall with a straight line of walling, which means that we're probably going to see a very long late game where all players will probably do a fast castle, probably even boom to Imperial, and from there, well, it could be a lot of trouble for these guys because, well, Spanish, Celts, Huns, they're all the late game powerhouses, and, well, Mongols as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. As you can see, the game is sped up slightly through the Dark Age here, and that is mostly because we will, I imagine, see fast castling and such. As I say, before I cast these games, I've not seen a single game, but when I saw that it was Homeland, I thought, yeah, we're probably going to be in for a long one. We'll have to wait and see. Viper, though, looks like he could just lose a villager here. Slam getting involved, all these guys getting involved where they can. Going to push this one back with the help of Doubt here. Riot and Slam trying to take down a villager, though. Oh, Viper losing his eagle. Slam's scout cavalry with 1 health left, and well, that wall-off not quite complete. And I don't think any of them at this stage are really going to want a long Imperial Age war. I think Slam especially, because when these games were played, it was like 7 or 8 AM in the morning for him, and I don't think he'd slept before. So I think for Slam, probably not going to want to delay these games. Maybe going to want to try and do some pressure in the Castle Age. We'll see. Neither team, though, walling up the centre yet, though both flanks are looking pretty walled up, with Slam walling behind the Viper there, and Viper going to wall behind Slam as well. And wow, Viper even made a militia to try and stop this walling from happening. But he did at least get Slam's scout. Everyone else, well, they're on the way up to the feudal age on 25, 26 population. Someone's on 22. That would be Fire, who's playing as the Mongols. And, well, we may see a scout rush from him, actually. Oh, no, we're going to see archers. Interesting stuff. He actually went up on 22 population, which is interesting. Archery range coming out. And another one as well. I don't know why. I think scouts would have made more sense because he could have gone through the centre of the map and tried to hit Jordan there. But taking advantage of that hunt gather speed and going to be adding some archers in here to try and perhaps bust down these walls. Jordan, on the other hand, well, going to be fast castling, 27 population for him, and that is expected. I think we're going to see walls coming up in the centre fairly soon as well, as players are starting to X that. Now I wonder if they will leave it open. If they do leave it open, I think that's probably going to be good, because it will shorten the game slightly and we won't see a 10-hour slog war. But at the same time, it could be good to see that happen, because otherwise, you know, it might be a little bit unfair. Okay, so we've got Castle Age, or Feudal Age even for others. They're all starting to get there now. I'll slow time down to 50 speed, and we can see that, yeah, people are already going up to the Castle Age. We've got Bagiofro, Cab, and Viper already going up. And that makes, of course, perfect sense. Viper here playing as the Aztecs. So, yeah, we've got Aztecs versus Mayans, and they have got very different civs. I mean, we've got Aztecs and Mayans on the opposite teams, and then, of course, we've got Huns against Celts. So I think, judging by Viper's team, they've gone for the more heavy siege. Spanish and Celts, of course, going to be great for the siege, as well as, of course, the Mongols with the siege onagers. And, of course, the Aztecs going to probably be going for the Eagle Warriors in the late game with the extra attack for raiding economy. So they've definitely gone for a much heavier setup, I feel. Mayans, perhaps not going to be that great in the late game, especially against, you know, siege onager civilizations. We've seen already in previous games what happens in those situations. Spanish, of course, with Slam, and Huns, of course, with Riot. No problem with that at all. I just think the choice of Mayans is a little bit strange, and I wonder how that will affect things. I'm not sure. Fire, though, at the moment, strange build from him. This weird sort of feudal rush thing. What is that about? I don't know. But he's starting to take down this wall with archers. And, I mean, why? I mean, does that serve any purpose? He's not going to get in. Juan's just going to wall it up with stone. It's going to take him even longer. At the same time, he's not doing any pressure in the centre of the map. So none of his team is starting to wall this up. Whereas Cad starting to wall this with houses. And I feel like Fire is just, I don't know why he's doing this. He's definitely not going to be castle anytime soon. And although, yeah, he's got a few archers here, he's not getting in. There's no chance of that. And once Jordan gets up to the castle age, which will be just a moment's time, Fire is going to have these guys flattened by mangonels, I imagine. So Cab's already castle. He's already got his second and third TC coming up. Same for the Viper here. And Doubt up to Castle Age, Riot up to Castle Age, everybody is getting up to the Castle Age. And they're going to start doing that boom. But Fire's just got these archers sitting around here. I just don't get it. I've got no idea. You know, he might pick this villager in the centre and stop this wall off. But Cap's going to see it first with the scout anyway. So I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure at all what the plan is here for him. It seems very strange to me. Slam's putting up a castle straight away here, though. I think that's a great choice as the Spanish to do that castle drop. They're good, you know, with the conquistadors. We've seen them in action before. I don't need to tell you how good they are. They're good. Castle drop, pretty standard play actually, but definitely going to be delaying a little bit the second and third TC. But interesting thing here from Riot is that he's actually adding in a couple of knights very quickly, delaying that second and third TC slightly. And the castle drop, of course, will break down the wall, and the knights are going to get in. Viper, on the other hand, well, he's got up to 3 TCs. He's definitely not going to be making enough military very quickly. He's got a little bit of warning from this. But yeah, that palisade's going to go down in a matter of seconds, and they're going to get very aggressive. Fire, well, he's got some archers, and he might get aggressive with them. But bear in mind, Doubt's got some knights in here, and he's actually already coming in towards Riot space. And we've seen this in the very first game, actually. I think it was the first game. Doubt with his very fast knight rush. He's doing the same again here, and it's going to be pretty devastating to Riot, actually, who has pretty unprotected gold. Not nice stuff at all. However, Viper could be in a bit of trouble as well. Slam, Conquistadors, and Knights from Riot could be pretty nasty to deal with, and Viper will end up losing some villagers to the Conquistadors if they get massed up enough. Meanwhile, Fire sending some archers over to Jordan 23. Jordan 23's Siege Workshop coming out. Of course, just so obvious for him to do that. And Jordan 23 spots this coming a mile off. Good luck getting in there, Fire. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Meanwhile, Doubt's trying to rush down Riot a little bit. Riot's putting up his third TC on the gold here. Perfect spot for that. And, well, Doubt may get a couple of villager picks, but one villager for one knight, I don't think that's quite worth it. I think you need to get a couple of villagers with a knight to make it worthwhile. Viper, though, definitely in a spot of trouble. Villager going down here. Definitely not good for him, and the Conquistadors, as I said before, are going to have a pretty easy time taking down the villagers. The problem for the Aztecs, of course, is that the Eagle Warrior is very weak in the Castle Age, and you know, an Eagle Warrior dies to a knight, so it's kind of difficult to make the Eagle Warriors and make them work, especially as well against Conquistadors, who are going to just hit and run you. You cannot fight against that unless you've got perhaps crossbows. So it's difficult for Viper in this position, but once he gets up to the Imperial Age, he can start the Eagle Warrior Flood, which is, I imagine, his plan. I don't think he'll make much military and castle at all. Centre of the map, though, is still wide open. I'm kind of happy to see that. I'm kind of happy, actually, because otherwise this could end up with a huge stalemate. Not to say that it won't anyway, but if they wall the centre up as well, it would just be almost like Mitchie, and that's just not so fun. But Bad Jofro here, Plumed Archer's coming out now. He's going to be heading towards well, the pocket players. Cab here could be wide open to that. Doubt's got some Conquistadors in his base as well. Pretty nasty stuff, and gonna have to react to that pretty quickly. But this Fire Castle yet? Okay, Fire's just about Castle now. It's just such a weird build from him. I don't even know what to make of it. It's so strange. And Bad Jofro are gonna have to go back because those Plumed Archers are being fired upon by the Mangonel. And oh no, Bad Jofro chased down by Gaia as well. I think he can outrun the wolf. It's not a problem. The Plumed Archer just runs so fast in comparison to a wolf. Seems legit. But yeah, this should be an easy defense for Cab, just with a couple of Mangonels and monks. You know, you defend very easily with that. Problem is, Fire now going to have crossbow in a second. Siege Workshop as well here from him, coming straight outside of Jordan 23's base. And Jordan 23, he just wants to be left alone to boom. He doesn't want to have to deal with this. You know, he doesn't want to have to deal with Mangonels and enemies attacking him. But no, he has to do something. He can't sit in his base. When you've got Mangonels of your enemy and crossbows of your enemy, you can just keep pumping out Mangonels, but it's going to get difficult, especially now because Fire's adding in this stable, which means Knights most likely. And we saw how well Knights and crossbows worked in the last game against the Viper for him. So, interesting play so far. It looks like the Warlords are definitely taking quite a bit of map control here. You can see quite a lot of their colours on the Legends side of the map. Definitely something to watch out for. But of course the Aztec player here, as I say, probably looking for that pretty fast Imperial time. Probably looking to do a lot of damage. Now he has still got to be careful, Viper has. You know, could still get rushed down, but it seems like the Conquistadors from Slam kind of letting off a little bit. I'm not seeing a huge number of them, and well, it seems like now Jordan needs a little bit of help, and Doubt is going to help exactly there. Quite a few Knights out for him actually, and Spanish, such a great late game civ as well. There's a lot of great late game civs here, but they need to get up and running. You know, they need to be. Oh, nice split from Bad Jofro. Good stuff. But that Mangonel getting repaired up. Gonna buy him a little bit of time. Will cost a few villagers, but perhaps worth it. Wow, Bad Jofro's micro there. That was nuts. That was so good. That was so good. Did anyone? Wow! I was like, did anyone see that? That was really good micro by them. Very well done indeed. Jordan then, as I say, defending, but Knights from Fire taking down those Mangonels. They've got +1 defense, no bloodlines, but it's not really a big deal as long as he can just get the Mangonels down. That's all he's really concerned about at the moment. And he's doing just that. The third Mangonel probably going to go down here. And that is costly. That is really costly. At the same time, Fire's coming in with the crossbows here now to take out Cab's eco on the fronts. And Doubt is the one that's kind of the protector here. Doubt the protector. That's what I call him. Trying to help his teammates out with some Knights here and there. I'm really glad to see Doubt back on form, actually. I know around the GML he really hurt his hand and he just did not play very well. But he's really starting to get back into shape, I feel. And he's been playing some really good games these last few in these last few series. So very good stuff indeed. Viper here, a few monks to try and get some conversions on the Knights of Rear, I imagine. Probably even the Conquistadors of Slam, but it's always difficult to convert a Conquistador because they're so fast and, you know, they're ranged as well. Jordan 23, desperately going to try and get a castle up on the front. Is he going to do a Fiage? That is the question. Is this castle going to go up? I imagine it probably will, but Jordan will probably lose a few villagers in the process as well. What is Fire doing? He's okay. Alright, that castle's up. I mean, I expected Fire to just come in here and kill a load of villagers. But at the moment, it seems like he's actually going to be okay. Oh wait, maybe not. Oh no, that's it now. That's it. Yeah, Jordan's going to suicide quite a few villagers getting this up. He's going to try, and I think he will get it. But he's going to lose like 7 or 8 villagers doing it. But he has to get it. Because if he doesn't get that castle up, it would have been a nightmare. He might have lost that TC and all of that stuff. So that's enough of a deterrent for now to push Fire away. Pretty much a mess in the centre of the map though. Viper coming in with these monks. He's a Wallow warrior at heart, and I don't know how many conversions he got, judging by how much yellow is on the map. I imagine none, but not bad still. I mean, he's doing the best he can. Doubt saying he owned them, so good stuff indeed from Doubt. +2 defense on those knights and bloodlines as well, chasing down Fire. And of course, Fire does not want to run into this because there's monks everywhere. Not good stuff for him. So this attack from the Warlords, it's pretty nice. They seemed to take a lot of map control very quickly, but I don't think it's been that effective overall because, you know, it's just not... They've not really done much eco damage. They've probably done the most damage to Jordan here at the cost of 4 or 5 mangonels. I don't think that's really necessarily worth it. But in other news, Viper's up to the Imperial Age before everyone else. To be expected, of course, and barracks are going up. Centre of the map is still wide open, and those Eagle Warriors from Viper now going to be flooding the other side of the map very quickly. And they're going to be looking to just do as much eco damage as they can, try and hurt them as much as they can. Doubt here doing a good job, cleaning up Fire as well. And if Fire's slow to the Imperial Age, it could be pretty nasty for him against Jordan here. Let's see who else is up. Slam's nearly Imperial. Jordan's up. Cab is nearly there. Bad Geofro's somewhat there. Viper is Imperial. And Doubt is up to Imperial as well. Riot as well, up to Imperial. So most of them going to be Imperial soon, but Fire definitely not there in the Imperial upgrade. And now the Aztecs, they need to get going. They need to go quickly and start their raiding off. Of course, Viper's going to be going for the Elite Eagle upgrade very quickly on. And he hasn't got a castle though, so he can't do Garland Wars, cannot get the extra attack damage. So that is a little bit concerning for now, but it's not the end of the world. You know, he will still be able to get the Elite Eagle done. He will get the defense upgrades, and you know they're going to be able to stand up to a lot of punishment once they start raiding. Doubt definitely has a very large mess of cavalry here as well. In fact, both him and Rhea equal on the upgrades there, so really important for them to keep it that way, at least equal or more. And of course, with Viper now coming in with some Eagles as well, could start to get a little bit nasty. Slam, not got bloodlines. Oh, he has got bloodlines. There we go. Just upgrading it as I say that. But upgrade-wise, I think Viper and... Not Viper, I think Doubt was ahead there. But they've been pushed back for sheer numbers. Bad Geofro with the Plumed Archers backing this up. They didn't even get scratched in that fight. And now the Cavalier upgrade is done for Slam. It looks like the Warlords are looking fantastic in the centre of the map. They've got a good presence there, and now of course the Viper cannot do what he intended to do. He can't just go and raid with the Eagles. It's not gonna happen. He can't run through the centre of the map into that, so that's pretty nasty stuff for them to deal with. We've got Cab going out with the Woad Raiders. Pretty common unit choice to see. Woad Raiders and Siege is incredibly powerful, but we're not seeing much Siege from Cab yet. I imagine, you know, it's extremely expensive to make that Siege, so I imagine it's going to be a little while before he gets it. Viper's Monks doing some work back here. Getting a couple of conversions, but nowhere near enough, I don't think. And Cab's missing a lot of upgrades on these Woadies, so lacking that is really crucial. You know, you've got to get those upgrades as quickly as you can. Cab, though, did get quite a few conversions on the Cavalier, I think. And, of course, we're not going to see Cab going for Paladins because the Celt Paladins are just too weak. But Woad Raiders come in. Oh no. Oh no. Villager's getting cut down by Bad Geofro there. Good positioning by him. And Doubt's still lacking the Cavalier upgrade. I'm pretty sure he's Imperial now. But he's not got the Cavalier upgrade yet. It's got to be on the way. There it is. You saw it. It was about 80%. But yeah. it definitely seems, you know, Riot, Slam, Badgerfro banding together really well here. Fire, though, we're a little bit out of the picture, and that's kind of expected because of that weird thing he did earlier on. Could be a little bit of a problem. Obviously, if Jordan starts to push his way through this side, could be pretty bad. You know, I'm not seeing a whole lot of castles here from Fire either. He's got one as far as I can tell. And if you play as the Mongols, you're definitely going to want a lot of castles because the Mangudai are just so important to the game. So Fire's on the way up to the Imperial Age. Everybody else is Imperial now. And Viper's gone Elite Eagle with +4 defense. Lacking the upgrades there, though, on the attack, and that is really what makes them a powerful unit. You know, compare them 1-to-1 on a Cavalier, they're almost, you know, they're over double the health the Cavalier is. They're way higher in the attack, and that's why you need those attack upgrades. Viper's army there, getting cut down very quickly, but Doubt backing it up very quickly as well. Elite Woad Raider now done for Cab, and that is that was a really crucial upgrade for that. Elite Mangudai for Jordan as well, and they might even push this one back. Cab gonna try and wall this up with stone. Can of course upgrade to fortified very soon, and not a bad push from the legends there. Not a bad push. Of course, Bachiofro here, if you can keep those plumes alive, you've seen how effective and powerful they can be once they're massed up. And it seems to me like so far, he's not losing a whole lot of plumed archers. He's been keeping them pretty relatively safe behind his teammates, which is really important. Of course, they're just so cheap. It's a great unit to have. Don't throw it away though. You know, if you can keep them massed up, that's great. And keep them behind the units. So Riot first to upgrade to Paladin, and this signals the attack again of the Warlords here. And the one nice thing about this map, of course, is that the fight is mostly over the centre, so we can at least enjoy the fact that we don't have to watch two flanks usually. You know, it will be a little bit of action on both sides at some point. We've got Viper and Slam having a bit of a Mexican standoff with the trebuchets there, but the majority of the action will be in the middle, I imagine. But look at this. We've got Paladin done for Slam and Riot now. Both of them pretty much fully upgraded. Slam just missing the final attack upgrade. And, well, Doubt, not got the Paladin yet. But we're starting to see that siege coming in from Cab. Now, if this is done well, the siege here will turn it around. There's no question. Once the Elite Woad Raiders are fully upgraded, once the Paladins are done for Doubt, that's it. They can push now. And if Cab can get enough Scorpions out here, if he can just get enough massive siege behind his teammates, they could do a huge amount of damage here. I mean, we're going to see a lot of damage coming in from the heavy Scorpions already. And in fact, this could go very well in favour of the Legends. It looks like it might, you know. The Scorpions back here just doing a lot of damage to the Paladins. The Mangudai, of course, managing to tank a lot of that damage as well. And Doubt coming in from the side, meaning that Badgerfro has had to fall back, catching Riot out of position, and Slam is nowhere to be seen now. He's just absolutely lost it. Very nice push from the Legends. And actually now, with this amount of Scorpions out, this could be huge. If they're behind the units, you know, behind the Paladins here, that could be really important and change things around massively. Cab, of course, lost a lot of Woad Raiders there. You see all the blue specks on the floor. But, you know, Woad Raiders not too expensive, really. They're not too expensive. What was I saying? They're getting the final attack upgrade. Of course, they don't have the final attack upgrade. I feel like such a fool sometimes. So there, they are fully upgraded. But if they can actually do the raiding, that would be fantastic. Not seeing a whole lot of Viper here, though, actually. He's sending some pikemen over. I think he's focusing more on the right side, but it's hard to say. I'm not seeing a whole lot from him. Perhaps sending a little bit of resource to his teammates. Not sure, though. Jordan coming in from the side here. Badgerfro are going to lose quite a few plumes by the looks of things. He definitely should not be at the front. He wants to be behind his teammates. Archer units, of course, for support here. I'm not sure about this decision from Cab, though. Sending his Scorpions between this castle. The castle's just going to get so many free kills. I don't know what that's about. I think they probably need to take that castle down pretty quickly. Doubt maybe a trebuchet from him would be good. He's getting conscription from there for now. Now, the massive Paladins here from Riot and Slam seems to be fluctuating a lot. But, you know, they've not had to really regain this ground. what was I saying? Cab and Doubt had to push this right the way back. Because remember in the Castle Age, Bad Geothro and Slam and Fire had quite a good hold here. Of course, these guys have had to fight it back. So, you know, they finally actually got to the point where it's kind of a stalemate in the middle now. And we'll see if they can hold it there. I don't know though, because I think once the Celts and once you get the Mongols getting fully upgraded with their siege, I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for the other team to outmatch the siege that the Legends are going to bring here. It's going to be difficult, I feel. Right side though, this is getting interesting now. Viper's making a lot of pikes. Remember that Aztecs cannot upgrade past pikemen, but they do get a lot of attack damage from Garland Wars. And of course their blacksmith upgrades, which are idle at the moment. But it's pretty stalemate over here, it seems. Of course, Viper trying to bash down these walls as best he can, and Slam at the moment actually losing quite a bit of ground. Of course, Viper will lose his pikemen very quickly to these castles, but if he's got enough trebs behind this, he can take the castles down. And at the moment, it's actually looking pretty good for him. If he can just take that treb down, it'll be great. And if he can take the paladins as well, which it's not too difficult to do with the Aztec pikemen. The problem is, as I say, the castle here. If I can just take that castle, then he could push in and then start, perhaps, with the Eagle Warrior Flood and get in here and do a lot of damage to Slam's economy. Now, we may see a team wall coming up at some point to protect the trade line from either team. At the moment, just holding the choke points is enough. But if you start getting, you know, if people start cutting through the wood line with siege onagers later on, you could end up seeing a big problem when, you know, paladins get ran through and such like that. So maybe having a team wall at the back will come up eventually. We'll see if that's ever necessary. But it's looking pretty good again for the Warlords now. They seem to be pushing back a little bit in the middle. The massive Mangudai from Fire definitely helping out here. He's finally getting back into it, or getting into it for the first time. Bad Chauffeur as well with the plumed archers. They're just so cheap. You know, it's not too much of a problem if he loses 10 or so plumed archers, because they're so cheap. You can just keep adding them in. No problem at all. But I think it should be interesting to see how the Celts fare here. You know, I don't watch that much Michi or Black Forest, so I don't usually see really long stalemate battles, you know, where it comes down to, you know, all the siege and such. But look, there we go, siege onager out from Jordan 23. You know it's not going to be long. Get on the siege onager hype, because things are about to get very serious. Fire here with only the onager, but managing to take down the onagers from Jordan for now. But look at this, Viper's been penetrated. Oh, his wall has been broken down, and this is good from Slam. This is really good because his teammates don't need him so much in the middle here. They're managing to hold out just fine for now, whilst Slam gets in here and devastates the Viper. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. I mean, obviously Viper's got a lot of pikemen. That's going to be a lot of damage output onto the paladins, but if Slam can run past this and get into the back here, you could see a lot of damage coming down, and we see Cab trying to reinforce that a little bit. Starting to see some bombard towers coming up as well. Doubt, of course, adding those in as expected. That's just a great way to hold a location down. Bombard towers doing 120 plus 4 damage. That is no small amount. So doing a hell of a lot of damage there. Siege onagers for Jordan getting taken down very quickly, and it's only a matter of time now before Fire gets those siege onagers as well. Maybe we'll see Cab go for them as also. It all depends really on how the trade goes, and they seem to have a lot of it up already. So you know, it's probably not going to be too long now before you know, the trade's bringing in a huge amount of gold. So this is looking good for the wall, for the Legends even in the north. They seem to be pushing this one back quite effectively. Those Scorpions, I don't know how effective they're really being, but I mean, they do, honestly, they are really devastating if you get enough of them grouped up together. 16 attack might not sound like a lot, but when that's 16 times however many, it's pretty huge. The problem is they died to siege onagers very quickly. Siege onagers from Fire coming out now. Look at this. This is an excellent push. They really are pushing in very, very quickly. very effectively. Just concerned for Viper here. He seems like he's having a very tough time. We've got Siege Onager's support from Jordan23, and those Paladins are still back there, which is definitely concerning for their team, hence why Cab is adding some barracks here to perhaps try and support a little bit. But you know, this is what I mean by a team wall. If they wall this, if they wall here, then it doesn't really matter if the Paladins get in. They might kill a load of Viper's eco, but they're not going to get to the trade really quickly, which is the primary goal, I imagine. Oh, those villagers, they took a beating from that Onager. I'm surprised they're still alive. There we go. That bombard tower getting taken down, but you see that Doubt here is the first to add the towers in. And that, of course, will make it a little bit difficult for Badger and his team to push in there, for the Warlords to push in there. It will make it quite difficult. We're starting to see mass Onagers now. Obviously, Siege Onager for fire is done, but Onagers rolling in from Cab. Oh no, that was bad. Okay. Cab rolling the Onagers in, but getting taken down instantly by the Paladins there. He's going to want to upgrade those to Siege Onagers soon. Those Onagers extremely inefficient so far though, not managing to do a whole lot. As they get taken down by the Paladins, focused down by the Paladins. And suddenly the Legends just, where is their army? It's suddenly disappeared. I don't know where they're focusing instead. Now this bottom side looks interesting. There we go. Jordan23 trying to make something happen as usual. And there's the Mangadai running into the trade line now. Really good stuff from him. You know, he's always looking for that alternative route. We've seen this in so many games. And there we go. He's going to take it, going to get into the back, and he is going to go for the Mangadai and try and take the trade carts down. Cutting through, of course, with those Siege Onagers. And this is what I was talking about before. The cutting through with the Onagers is so huge, and it's something that you can underestimate and forget about a lot. So there we go, Jordan's in the trade line now, trying to do some damage, causing a pretty big reaction from fire here, bringing back some Siege Onagers, bringing back some Mangadai, and of course if Jordan can just keep them busy, we can run through the trade route, make them chase him down. That's less units that are in the centre, which is looking pretty empty at the moment actually. Doubt's got a few Paladins here, not a lot though, and well, quite a few Siege Onagers from Cab. But it's not a lot. I mean, that's not a lot of defense, considering there's quite a few Paladins out from the other team as well. But yeah, Jordan's been a real pain here, taking out a lot of units here, taking a little bit of trade, making them chase him down, getting a few kills on this gold camp as well by the looks of things. Really nice stuff. And if he can keep that push coming in, Jordan's going to have a whale of a time taking down Fire's eco and all of that jazz. So Fire's looking in a bad position now, and although they're holding out in the middle, whoa, Bagiofro, what happened, man? He had like 6 or 7 trebuchets there. Okay, maybe 6 trebuchets there. Flattened, absolutely flattened by the Onagers, and the Onagers here are just like, you know, taking a huge amount of damage. You know, it's like mutually assured destruction, but that was huge. I mean, that was a lot of resources lost for Bagiofro there. Really, really concerning. Once again, though, are we surprised to hear it? But Jordan23 MVP at the moment in score. He is just the king of the Mongols. He really is such a strong Mongol player. But looking a little bit worrying on the bottom against Fire, who seems to have a lot more Mangadai there. So definitely worth watching out for. Losing those trebs, not so good. But on the top, Viper now pushing in all of those pikes. He's made pikes just all game long. He's not stopped making pikes. We see Slam switching into hand cannons. That is all well and good. But Siege Onagers coming in now from the Viper as well. And this is what I'm talking about. Siege Onagers from the team at the top. Just, they're the game changers. And the Siege Onagers are going to take down the hand cannons very, very quickly once they get in. And Viper as well, if he switches now into some elite Eagles as well, which he is actually doing, I definitely think that's a great idea. He's got so much gold in the bank. If he starts doing that, he can just steamroll this eco. You just get in here and just kill so much. There's nothing to stop him. Oh, Slam narrowly avoiding that Siege Onager fire there. But yeah, this is looking pretty bad for Slam on the right side, the center of the map. This castle just being completely destroyed by the Siege Onager fire of Cab. It's relentless. And Doubt just going to keep pushing in there with those Paladins to back it up. I'm wondering where Doubt's army actually is. He doesn't seem to have a huge amount, to be honest with you. He's down on 165 population. It seems to me like he's actually struggling for gold at the moment. And although, yeah, he's got a lot of trade cards, I don't know if he can actually keep Paladins coming out that well. It seems like he does lose them very quickly. So Doubt seems to me like he's struggling a little bit in terms of actually keeping the Paladins coming out. But at the same time, he's spending that gold instead of Paladins on Bombard Towers. Putting up Bombard Towers inside of Slam's base, putting them up, of course, in the centre of the map to hold the ground. And Slam now, this is not looking good. TC going to get taken down in a second. And this is a huge spearhead into his base. Really, really concerning for him. And now we've got Cab sending gold to Doubt. Doubt just being sent 3,000 gold there in a matter of seconds. And of course now he's just going to keep putting those Bombard Towers up. And they're just going to keep raiding into Slam's base. And now this is where it's a problem, because this trade line is open. Completely open. There's nothing stopping Viper from just running in there with some Eagles or something and doing a lot of damage. Generally speaking, to me, it definitely seems like ranged units are better at dealing with killing trade, because of course they don't have to chase the carts down. They can sit in one location and just kill them as they walk past, which is definitely something to bear in mind, and that is something that Jordan23 is just great at doing, putting his Mangudai in the trade route. But look at this, he's got a good hold inside of Fire's base, and it looks to me like the Legends here are going to take this game and bring it back to 4-4. I would not be surprised, to be honest with you, the way they've got a hold now inside of Slam and inside of Fire's base. I mean, that just says to me that is a victory awaiting them. A lot of Siege Rams from Jordan23 here as well, just wreaking havoc on Fire's eco. And if they get back, this is the problem, if these Rams get to here and kill all the markets, that is a huge problem. And also, Fire now putting up a lumber camp in the trade line, never a good idea. We can see a lot of problems coming arising from that. But yeah, these Siege Rams could be a pain, a real pain, because if they do take the markets down, of course, you have to retask your trade cards, you have to rebuild the markets, and it disrupts things massively. Meanwhile, in the centre of the map, Doubt's pushing in with those Paladins again. He's outnumbering Riot, and the castles are falling slowly but surely. So many Siege Onagers from these guys, just taking the castles down with the Onagers alone. Trebuchets are just for scrubs. It's all about the Siege Onagers now. It's all about the Siege Onagers. Looking really good for these guys there. Looking very good indeed. And really good hold here as well for the Viper inside of Slam's old base. So it's a win for Legends in the middle, it's a win at the top for them, and it's a win at the bottom for them at the moment. Obviously, the Warlords won't want to give it up just yet, but this is dangerous. Jordan is getting dangerously close to the trade line now, and the guys in the middle are just pushing this back further and further. I suppose it doesn't even matter at this stage what happens at the top, because if it happens, if this happens at the bottom, with Jordan managing to get in here, then that's it. It's done. They're done for. So Mangudai about to get in again to the trade line. There's nothing here to stop them. There's a castle going up from Fire in the middle of it all, but Jordan's just going to sit those Mangudai in there. And there's very little reaction from the other team aside from these this castle. Fire just doesn't really have the eco now to keep making Mangudai. He's got nothing left, really. I mean, he's got one town centre, a few villagers taking some wood, but that's about it. And he's going to try and get those castles up, but they don't cover everything. And Jordan's just going to sit here. He's going to have a field day. Look at all these trade carts just coming to die. They're instantly dead. And Jordan's going to be able to have, well, no problem just holding that for now. So that is a huge problem. Not only that, but the centre of the map completely owned by Doubt and Cab now, and the top as well, even looking pretty good for them as well. So I would not be surprised if we see a GG from the Warlords any moment now. At this stage, it's just going to be incredibly difficult for them to really pull it back. Jordan's racking up the kills here. Just racking them up. He's so many Mangudai inside of this trade line, and well, there's nothing stopping him from just continuing to send them in. He's got an economy, unlike Fire here. He's got an economy, unlike Slam, who, well, he has nothing left, really. A few villagers, perhaps. Let's have a quick look at their population. Slam, 122. Fire, probably less. 145. I'm surprised. Quite a few trade carts for both of them. But they are definitely lacking in comparison to the other guys here. And of course, with those siege onagers in the mix, Fire's Mangadai alone are going to have a tough time. Going to be very difficult for them at this stage. A lot of trade carts dropping down there. On the top of the map, again, looking great. Vipers rolling on through with the siege rams, backed up by the siege onagers of Cab. Center of the map, Doubt's still got his paladins there. Siege rams coming in from Cab. Doubt's got even more bombard towers, just continuing to add them in, of course, because the more he adds, the harder it's going to be for the other team to push it back. And I think that's about it. I don't like to be called out for calling games too early, but I think that is about it, guys. I don't see how they're going to pull it back from here. I mean, we've got Elite Eagles and their ecos, we've got just so much siege everywhere, and you got to bear in mind as well, this is Celt siege, so, they fire faster, they're going to take buildings down even faster, and we saw how quickly they took castles down with onagers alone. It's just a matter of time, I think, before they completely push it back on either side. So let's go to a little bit of a faster speed now. Fire and Riot managing to just push Jordan back at the south for now, but Jordan's done loads of damage. I mean, you can just see how many dead trade carts are on the floor there, and Jordan's shown many times already that he's able to just hold it, fall back, hold, and then regroup and push back in again. But that's not even the main problem. This is the main problem in the center and at the top of the map now, because I mean, there's rams here, the trade is here, and well, Vipers into the trade as well. We've got siege onagers in, rams, everything is in the trade line at this stage. There's the attempted team wall from Badge. Got to commend him on doing that. He finally tried to go for that team wall there. As I said right at the start of this game, if they get a team wall up in the middle, that's going to be perfect. But it doesn't matter now because it's over. Badgeofo resigns, Slam resigns, Riot and Fire are left to go. I think they're having fun chasing Jordan down here. But now it is 4v2. And there's the resignation from Riot. Fire, off you pop, and there we have it, 4-4, Legends versus Warlords. Legends going to take one back, and there you have it. That was the 8th game, bringing the series completely even. Good stuff indeed. Going to come back, and we'll go to game 9 in just a moment's time.